The C. About 2 months ago my wife went to some grand opening party should have ended at 8. Since we were friends in the Find My Friend app it showed she left and was near a parking lot or something for a while. When I text her she said she is heading home. She said yay and then removed me from the app. So the next day I asked her, she said she was lost and called me a stalker. Now the other day she said had to work late, so my gut told me put something in car to track, and I did, and as she was leaving, she texted me was going to stay to 7, but at 5 the car was heading towards a residential street, so 20 minutes later I got in car and started to race there, but foolish me called and screamed and cursed where she was. Long story short, she was saying she was not in that area, called me stalker again, and now told me she is done with me. I told her I felt she is cheating. She says no, but she is so different and even liking an old friend's Instagram page often, and said she runs into him sometimes. So last night I begged to work it out. She said she is done. In 11 years I treated her like crap, so I said just call a lawyer then, and she said she has no time for that now. We have 2 kids and I just don't know what is going on. It's been quiet. We went to the store today with the kids, but she always has phone in hand. What to do then? Just stick it out until and if she gets lawyer. I can't leave. I have 2 kids. It's her work phone. I'm almost given up trying to figure it out. I think I'm going to hope for the best and plan for the worst. I kiss her goodbye. She turns her cheek. Now she's been sleeping in the kids' room. I just now said you want to stay in here. She said the kids want her in there. I cried almost all day yesterday, but I have to be strong, and if it happens, I have to be there for my kids. She is already cold and said it's over. To hear her talking to someone else will put the icing on the cake. She says there is no one, but my gut says something else. I think now I'll wait for her to make the move with a lawyer. I have to for my kids. But would it be wrong if I start looking in the meantime? Comment: don't wait for her to make a move with a lawyer. You set an appointment with a lawyer to find out what your rights are. She is almost certainly cheating. Guarding her phone, finding fault with everything you do, no signs of affection, sleeping in another room. These are all classic signs of cheater behavior. She doesn't want to consider divorce because if things with her other man don't work out, she can fall back on you. That's why you're being referred to as Plan B. She wants to keep you as a backup so she can test drive the OP responds: I'm not a stay-at-home dad, we both work. We're married 11 years, but we did fight a lot over nonsense. I would love for this to pass, but I don't know any more spying. I may be in more trouble. At this point I rather not know. We have 2 vacations planned and paid. I have to see now what's up with that. Plus she did not tell her family anything either. Should I start looking to date on the low now? So, I won't try to date yet, but if she is talking to someone, won't that bother her then for not getting over us first? She told me the other day if she is going to do anything it will be when we're divorced. Just now she came and got a pillow and went on the couch. I was like, really, you can even stay in here? It's been a week, and then I text her saying that it must too far gone. Should I just ignore it? Am I wrong for asking? It's crazy though. Today we're out shopping, doing stuff around the house, but she still has a slight attitude and playing her music. Her family texting us happy anniversary and I'm saying thanks and she not even responding to them. But last year she was completely different. Sad part is she never goes out at all, so I don't know. What do you recommend for next week during work? We used to talk and or text in the day. Should I just let her do it, and if she don't, I should not call or text? I can't snoop anymore. It's not worth it, and plus it will make it worse if she catches me. She already calling me a stalker and that she feels that she can turn left without me questioning. I will try to get more clues. Sad part is, what is she not cheating? All she says is 11 years I made it unhappy for her. I never made our milestones happy, and all this crap, and I admit I'm not the best, and when we argue, which was a lot, I say to end it or curse, and she claims she had it now and gave up on giving me chances, etc. Sucks being here right now. Nothing is done yet for divorce. She does not wear her ring. Should I wear mine? Nobody knows any of this, neither do the kids. So far, it's been a quiet day. We bought a fire pit for the yard. I don't know what is up. If she wants a divorce, then why is she not calling a lawyer yet? I even said let's go see a mediator as 2 weeks from today. She said she may not have time with her schedule. And funny, her sister texted her and suppose called before, and she was showing me the text and telling me about the phone call. Sad day. I had her Instagram pass and logged on and seen a direct message to her saying I love you to her. I guess my gut was right. Well, today I have an old cell phone under the seat so I can track it. She said tomorrow she is going out with a girlfriend, so I will track. If it goes other direction, then I can follow and take pics. I wish she would just file for divorce because I hate to have to be the one to initiate it, especially for the kids' sake. And what I want is for the kids to live with me. I want to put her through hell in court if at all possible. She denies it all, but why, if you're saying we're over, why deny it? Well, I went to a lawyer today to find out some information. Seems that it would be a simple case, and I would get 50-50 custody and half everything. She probably won't be okay with that, and it will be a battle. Now waiting for her to file, already not sure why she is not. Tonight, she is going out with a friend for dinner, but I know it's probably with him. The only reason I'm waiting for her to file is for the kids. Wow, gets this. I found his shirt under her car seat. I approached her and she went ballistic. I recorded the whole thing, screaming to give her the shirt, threatened to kill herself, punch walls, screaming to give her the shirt, kids crying. I took a pic of it and finally gave it to her. It was a scared scene. My question is this guy married to and she is scared that I would blow up spot? Why would she get like this? Plus, do I have more leverage with the outburst recorded? Plus, she said I bought the shirt and put it there. She does work full-time. Do you think he is married? That's why she went nuts like that. Anytime I bring him up, she says maybe one day in future if I marry him, etc. Plus, do you think he planted his shirt there knowing I would find it? She does not work with him or even near him. I thought maybe he was married to. By the way, she went nuts, almost threw herself down the stairs and held a sharp wooden stick to her neck, threatened to X herself. She had to have that shirt back. I never in 16 years seen her like this. Just curious, do you all think the guy put the shirt there knowing I would find it? Do you think he may be married? That's why she went insane over it. I did see a lawyer. She said it seems like a straightforward case, 50-50 even with the kids. Well, so far still at home, just waiting for her to make a move. I'd rather her do it, but if I don't get what I want, I will hire the lawyer I met with. I want 50-50 and the kids half the time as well. The wife has been so nasty and cold the past days, but I'm just going with the flow for now. She keeps telling me soon I'll be at my mom's. All I want to do is not make this easy for her. Sad part is she tells me that I keep telling her I will change, but I'm not, and I'm like, what the hell? I found a guy's shirt in your car that you chat with on Instagram and I have to change. Oh, yay, it's just an old friend. It's very hard for me to pull the trigger and file. I wish she would just do it already. She did say she wanted a mediator, but I'm like, when? Update. So, it's been a rocky few weeks with some more issues and she has yet to schedule anything, so I'm scheduling mediation for Friday, but she tells me she won't have time and has to be according to her schedule. If I set it up for Friday, can I go, and will she look bad if she doesn't? I want out. I'm sick of her now. 2 weeks ago she went out Friday to about 1, then leaves at 9 a.m. and comes home 2 in the morning. Went to a bodybuilding contest. She says her friend's friend does it, but this guy also does it, so I know she went for him. But all freaking day. And then the next day leaves 9 a.m. for massage. WTF, never did this stuff before. So Thursday before we left for shore, she went out again to 1 in the morning. Then we went to the shore. I stayed far away from her and just had fun with my kids. Today's our last day here and I reminded her I want this over next week or at least start it. She still denies everything and warns me not to involve anyone, especially when I told her if I will suffer, I'll make sure this guy's wife or going to be ex-wife knows what I know. Trying to avoid the lawyer's fees, she also would rather meditate. Say I do make the appointment and she does not go. Do I get any points for showing up? I have a feeling my wife, soon to be ex, is seeing someone from time to time. She wants to end it and many times I tell her let's set up the meditation. So far not yet, but it has to be soon. My question is, do I go out and look for someone to date, see, or just and wait for the divorce to be finalized? I will wait. It's been 6 months since this all started. Still living in same house, but we stay in each of our children's room. She does go out here and there and comes home late, claims it's with friends. I just want to get the process started, but she keeps stalling. I mean this what she wants, and now that I'm pushing for it, there is always an excuse. I wish it was as easy to just file. She threatens me that if I go that road, she will make it hard for me and hard to get half custody. Plus, if I go lawyer fought at $6,000 plus $300 per hour, and that money I don't have now, mediation is $1,000 to $3,000. I did expose to her family, and now she says that she has so much stress with her family that she is going to lose it. She wants to disown them. Lol, I never had issues with her family. We get along well. As for the guy, not sure if he is still married, but the family members that know of him think he may be or is always getting separated. I don't actually know if he has an apartment someplace. She did go out a few times and was home 1:30 in the morning. At this point I don't care. I think I have my answers. No need to spy anymore. Just need it to be done so I can move on. A year later, an update. Still separated, mediated and failed both times. It's almost 1.5 years separated. She still denies talking or dating this guy, yet she has been out and staying overnights at God knows where. Plus I still find stuff such as a possible gift for this guy, and also found his crap card with her first name and his last name on it. She has mentally abused me for this year, but I also got a lot of recordings of her saying crazy stuff, and she even says go ahead, record me, no one cares. So sadly, I don't have the money to serve her with a lawyer, and I'm pushing her to get the mediator again because we are sort of getting to an agreeable point on some things. I want 50-50 with my kids. She's giving me a hard time even though she is home at 8 every night and goes out a lot more, plus the kids are very close to me. This summer alone so far, I've taken the kids to a lot of places. I'm so stuck now on what to do. I don't see any signs of this working out. Well said all. I think I need this kick in the behind. I made a few calls to see if I can borrow the money from family. Hopefully I can this week. And by the way, I haven't been living home to avoid conflict. My comment: so, start dating that will move her bottom. She is a classic cake eater. Things will start moving when you start moving. Story 2. The progress. Background. I've been married to my wife for almost 2 years, together for 4. I am 26, she is 28. She is a psychologist who majored in marriage, family therapy, go figure. I have worked in law enforcement my whole adult life. Needless to say, our marriage has had its ups and downs. We've both struggled with depression. However, I never thought things were as bad as they really were. From early Jan. Through the end of Feb, I was out of state. I was doing required training about 1,000 miles away. I was gone for almost 8 weeks. At the end of January, my wife began to voice concerns and confusion about our relationship. She told me that she wasn't sure if we should have gotten married. She's not attracted to me physically anymore. She doesn't want to wake up as a middle-aged woman full of regret that she's not in love with me anymore, etc. This was obviously very difficult to deal with. I couldn't come home, and we didn't have the money to send her out to me. I tried to get her to just hold off on any decisions until I was home and we could talk face to face. Well, that didn't work. In February 10 days until I would be home, she dropped the bomb. She told me that she had cheated on me 2 days prior. She told me that it was only one time, and that she immediately regretted it. Of course, I had tons of questions, but she was being very defensive and would not answer all of them. The next 10 days, I bounced back and forth between thinking I didn't even want to see her again, and possibly trying to. Those days were hell. Sleepless nights, no appetite, tons of confusion, feelings of zero self-worth, etc. After I got home, she started to tell me more. She trickles truth me up until about 5 days ago when she said that she had told me everything. The whole story, as I know it, about the affair. She and my brother's wife's sister-in-law had begun to go out to a bar by my house. She ran into the OM while at this bar. The first day she met him, she told him she was married. The next week, they went up there again and he was there. She said that on that day, he tried to take her home. She said she refused because she was married. However, she did admit to exchanging phone numbers that night. Kind of conflicting. I know. She then said that on the third night at the bar, she and my sil decided to go to the guy's house to hang out with him and his roommate. Once at their house, my wife was alone with him. She told me that they made out, touched, etc. She said she couldn't go through with it. On the fourth night, she saw him at the bar for the fourth time. She went home with him again, except this time, she did not hold back. They had slept together. Damn, this is hard to type. She said they only did it one time and that she hasn't seen him since. She claims that they have not talked since February 27. I wish I could believe this, but I'm struggling with it. Since I've been home, things have been crazy. We began hyper-bonding. Although I usually feel regret or shame after we have slept together. She seems committed to R, but I can't help but wonder if I really have the truth. I'm so afraid that she is still hiding things. I also feel like I don't know her anymore. Or my sister-in-law. I can't believe that she betrayed me, and that my sister-in-law encouraged that behavior. I am so crushed. I want to R, but I do not know if I can ever trust her again. My whole world has crumbled into my hands. I realized that I wasn't handling it as I should. I guess that's part of the reason that I shared my story. My wife told me that before she cheated, my sil revealed to her that she has been cheating on my brother for years. My sil recently told my brother she wanted to separate. I feel like I should tell him. Before my wife told me about my sil, she made me promise to not say anything to anyone about what she was going to tell me. I still feel like I should though. We have been talking about it. Every day since I've been back, we've talked about it. She is more emotionally needy than ever and says I'm not supporting her. In fact, she called me today, telling me how depressed she was. I really just didn't want to hear it. I want to say the obvious. Do you know what you've done to me? I am stuck between trying to be a great husband and worrying only about myself. I just don't know what to do. We are seeing a MC this Friday. I keep telling myself to just wait until then to process things further. I exposed the affair immediately. Her friends, family, my friends, family, etc. all know about it. While she initially lied about the day, it happened the night before she told me. Is this a good or a bad thing? It made me feel better knowing that she told me on her own. She says the OM is 34 and single. I have his phone hash and have considered calling him. I just don't know what to say. In about a week, I'll be able to verify via phone records whether or not she stopped texting, calling him. She told me that there were many inappropriate texts between them. I am torn as to whether or not I want to see them. I don't know how to retrieve deleted messages from her phone. She is no longer talking with sister-in-law. The way I summed it up was that she basically replaced me with my sister-in-law and some loser. It's just so much to grasp. When I said I just called him, I meant my brother. That convo went as well as it could. I'm not going to contact the OM while I would like to introduce him to a collapsible baton. He is not worth my time. My brother confronted his wife. She is denying it completely. He is asking me for proof, which I do not have. All I know is that my wife is being open with me, and that is why she told me everything, including my sister-in-law's cheating ways. I hate my sister-in-law. I never thought my wife was capable of this. While she made her own choices, I have no doubt that my sis-in-law was a catalyst. I look at it like they're addicts. It's easier to use if your friends accept it and also use. Would you guys agree with that analogy? Well, my brother believes me even without proof. I don't know what he's going to do. They have kids that are 8 and 3. This whole situation is so screwed up. Yesterday I did not talk with my wife much. I saw her briefly at home, exchanged a few words, then I went to my bud's house for a date with Budweiser. Although what we did talk about really disturbed me and I don't really know how to react, so I'd like everyone's opinion. While talking about the P on D-Day, I asked her how many times they had slept together. She told me once. Well, yesterday I asked her again because it just didn't seem right. She replied with only one time. I asked her how many times she did it that night. She then told me two. She said she told me once before because she thought I was asking how many times she went over there to sleep together. Am I crazy for thinking that this is a big deal? Or am I blowing the detail up? I am struggling with details so bad right now. I don't know how much I want to know, but I also know that I need to see the big picture. Any advice? Right now, I'm stuck. I bounce back and forth between starting D and waiting until Friday to see the MC. Maybe I'm putting too much hope into the MC. I told her after I told my brother. I said that this lying, cheating bull crap ends with me. She was glad that I told him. Of course, my sis called her immediately, but she did not answer. I've also verified via our online phone records that she has not talked to my sis since I learned about my sis-in-law's involvement. She has also not talked to the OM since I've been back home. I told her to go stay with her parents until further notice. I also informed her this morning that the marriage is on hold until I get a grip on my feelings and decide what I'm going to do. I have been seeing a therapist for a few months now. I see her again tomorrow. It's definitely helping. I had PTSD before from some crazy things I've been involved with at work. I can already feel it coming on from the "but what is a man to do? Get back up." That's what. I know it was her fault. I just couldn't believe all that was happening. I've known my sis-in-law for 10 years and up until recently referred to her as my sister, not sister-in-law. And my sis was talking to me throughout this whole thing and it was all lies, lies, lies. I'm just still in shock that the woman I loved, my best friend, no longer exists. That woman is dead. I am now left with an immoral, deceiving, cheating, dangerous, lying, two-faced, easy, poor excuse of a woman. It was a firm decision. A big mistake would have been her going back to the bar or even exchanging numbers. The fact that she went over there twice and had slept together twice on the final meeting says that it was a firm decision. She made it seem like she had slept together once, realized it was a huge mistake, then left. That obviously was not the case. Otherwise, she would have stopped after number 1. Update. NC is in effect with OM and my sis-in-law. WW has since been to doctor and is all clear. She has agreed to take a polygraph test. I have verified through phone, chat records that she did indeed end contact before I got home. Sister-in-law is in damage control mode and is being very defensive. Thought she'd spill the beans on my WW. Thankfully I was fully aware of everything she told me. Spouse is showing true remorse. She's gotten rid of all tangible triggers. We did our first session of MC last week. It's going to be a rough road for sure. WW has happily agreed to any conditions I have. We even clarified our individual boundaries when it comes to interactions with opposite gender. They are very conservative. I'm reluctantly optimistic. Although her doing anything to please her man has been fun. She asks me every day if I'm going to leave her. Every day I say, not today. WW also had a nice reality check when I revealed to her that her AP is a felon. Info obtained through legal means. Of course, I have plenty of friends who have offered their assistance in dealing with the OM. We stick together. I've decided to show the scum some mercy though. He is not worth my time, my career, or my freedom. I've learned that he is indeed single. So, since there was no OMW to contact, I wrote his parents a nice letter. I'm sure it stings to read that you've raised a piece of crap. The MC went okay last week. I was very angry the whole time and did not hide it. The MC is trying to help figure out what is going on with my wife to where this happened. So far, it's been concluded that my wife has never had a healthy relationship before ours. Well, when it was healthy, the way her father treated her growing up seems to be an issue. His love was conditional, he was overly strict and controlling, OCD, etc. In her last relationship before me, her ex cheated on her and had a baby with someone else. She knew about the cheating twice and took him back both times. It was only at his funeral, he passed in a motorcycle accident, that my wife learned that she was the whole time. Screwed up, right? It sucks because now she is being the wife I always needed. Loving, great bonding, understanding, appreciates her husband, etc. I just don't know if I want it anymore. I don't even look at her the same anymore. I used to adore her. Now at times I'm repulsed. Yesterday, she bought me a card, some magazines, some candy, and wrote me a love poem. My reaction. Her poem reminded me of the bull crap she wrote about the OM in her journal. She knows I'm confused. And I really am. She claims she will spend the rest of her life making this up to me, but I don't know if that's the life I want. Update on the OM, he is a felon, no driver's license, on probation, and the list goes on and on. She had no idea. Is it normal to be in limbo this long? I just don't know if I can get past her betrayal. I don't know if I will ever want her like I used to. It stings to talk about my wife this way, but I look at her like she is a piece of crap. This whole affair lasted about 3 weeks, but it feels like the betrayal has been a lifetime. After I got home from training, I was in denial and in the process of reclaiming her. Now that I've reclaimed her, I don't know if I still want her. Sometimes I feel bad for not giving her a straight answer, but I would be lying to her and myself if I did give her one. I just don't know. She's simply not the woman I fell in love with. That woman is gone. I don't know if I want to rebuild things with the shell of a woman that is left. It's as if she is not happy with a man that accepts her as she is. She needs a challenge. She seems to think that she can change the Mr. Unavailable out there. We've had this conversation. She is attracted to the guy that uses the push-pull method to reel in a woman. I've explained to her that this is the oldest trick in the book, and how many times does she need to be fooled by it? Do you guys agree that any guy that truly wants to be with a woman will not push-pull? I've told her that we men know that women like to feel like they're in control and need a challenge, and that we manipulate that to get what we want. I am doing I started about 4 months ago. It's been very beneficial to me. I still go every week. I messed up with some things at first. I was rug sweeping and placing too much blame on my sill. But that is done with. I was in shock, denial. I'm now angry, hurt. There hasn't been a day that has gone by that we haven't talked about this. Her acceptance of her actions and her apologies are promising. But I just don't really care. I cannot get over the fact that the woman I loved, my best friend and lover, screwed me over and hung me out to dry for some piece of crap. I don't know if I'll ever get over that. Wife was doing She was talking with her therapist the whole time. After they made out, her therapist told her a kiss never hurt anyone. After she slept with him, her therapist told her not to tell me, and that she knew that if my wife saw him again, she would go through with it. After D-Day, her therapist told her that I would just get over it. To hell with that. That therapist is gone and WW is looking for a new one. Has an appointment next week. I've also informed my insurance about this rug-sweeping, marriage-hating witch. Keep in mind, I do not give my wife any slack for this. She knows that I don't give a damn what anyone else says to her. She knows right from wrong and should have come to me with her problems. I think that when she saw me, she freaked out and didn't want the M to end. When I left for training, I was looking forward to the time by myself. PTSD and some other issues, including finally accepting and dealing with X as a child, had left me antisocial and with low self-esteem. I made it my mission to work hard in my figure out what was missing with the marriage, and find the man I was meant to be while I was gone. I made a lot of progress during those 8 weeks, and it is continuing. The more confident I become, the less I want to be with her. When I got home, I was in better shape than I had been in years. I lost about 15 pounds, gained some confidence, and got a huge "Don't Tread on Me" tattoo on my forearm the day after she cheated. She couldn't and still can't resist me. The funny thing is that I told her before I left that I was aware of my personal issues and that I was facing them head on. Why couldn't she just have waited? I guess it chalks up to the old saying you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Some days I feel it is, while others I feel that we can work past this. My wife is convinced that we can be stronger than ever. I just don't know if I'm convinced. I don't know if I can ever feel in love with her again. I just don't know what to make of this uncertainty. Just talked with the wife over the phone. My best bud and his wife are having a baby today. I told my wife that it was kind of bittersweet because that is where I wanted to be before. She then said that she wished we did have a baby because then she wouldn't have been going out to bars all the time. I then said, well, the fact that you are married means you should not have been going to bars. She then got defensive and said, well, now I never want to have a baby with you. I said, okay, goodbye. I am thinking about telling her we need to separate tonight. I am still on an emotional roller coaster going from one extreme to the next. I do agree that I need to stop throwing this in her face. It's just hard to find a balance that says, I know you love me and are not a bad person, but what you did was horrible and humiliating. Last night she was a hot mess. I told her that I was feeling very negative about things and was considering filing for D. She was screaming, no, no, no. You're ruining me. I can't live without you, and cried herself to sleep after about 3 hours. It hurts to see anyone in that much despair. I read her journal after she went to bed. It was very sad and desperate. She wrote things like, I don't know if I will ever find a man that loves me like him. I hope to God he doesn't leave me, but I deserve it if he does. I was so stupid to give up so easily when he never gave up on me. I would do anything to take it back. I can't believe how bad I messed up my life and threw it away for nothing. She wrote this before I got home. I wish her commitment was this unwavering before the PA. She is showing true remorse and humility. My attacks and cruel comments are not helping. At this point I am not investing anything else in the M, but am willing to give it more time. We go to MC again in 2 days. In the meantime, I am going to work on dealing with my anger and resentment. I will be better for it either way. She hides her journal and doesn't know that I read it. But anyways, her desire for a push-pull relationship is unhealthy for sure. She has never had a healthy relationship where there wasn't a pursuer and an evader. She has been on both sides. I was the pursuer in our marriage. I know this. She knows this. We had a power struggle in our relationship that I lost. Let her win, actually. This is half my fault. I grew up with an extremely controlling and invasive mother. The dynamics of my parents' relationship is truly screwed up. My mother has always had the control, and I witnessed her humiliate my dad countless times throughout my life. This is the only type of relationship I had known. I see how I fell into similar relationships. They were normal to me. Sadly, I didn't realize how screwed up things were until recently. I've set my relationship with my mom straight. I've confronted her about her control issues and have told her that our relationship will be minimal at best until she starts respecting others' boundaries, including my own. There has been a major power shift in my marriage since I've seen the light. I will never let the power-control dynamic of our relationship sway to unhealthy levels again. I won't accept it, and the WW knows that. She obviously didn't want or like having most of the power. Seriously, what woman wants a man that lets her have all the power? That is no excuse for cheating, but it was a factor. I was a beta with my marriage and I know it. Thankfully, I know that that is not who I am. I just allowed it to happen for too long. I have been so used to commanding respect every day that I just didn't feel like I should have to at home. And frankly didn't care to. Well, that situation sucked and is no longer my reality. It took a crappy wake-up call, but nonetheless knowledge is power. My wife did not respect me, but I'll be damned if I'll allow that to happen again. Now, I tell her what I want and she does it because she wants to please me. She knows that she can trust me, confide in me, and that I will protect her from anything. And that deserves respect. Hell, the last time I told her to please me, she said anything for my man, then proceeded to give me a good time, rode me hard enough to knock the picture off the wall, then did the at the moment, without my asking or a second thought. And she took it like a champ. I've been doing weekly IC for a few months now. It helps, but I am a bit skeptical of psychotherapy right now. But I am still putting in effort for myself. We have already done 2 MC sessions. They are helping me to understand what went wrong, as well as help me process my feelings. Like comment, I am not sure you are still beta or not. Maybe you are plan B, you need to dig deeper to find out.